This is Lee with 82 Gammon 12 here on YouTube channel Sons of Liberty 75, and this is video 19 of my playthrough of Eylau 1807. This is a, here we go, Sound of Drums game, and it's volume 1 in their Battles of Napoleon series. And the designer, Uwe Walentin. And what I'm going to do here in this video is I'm going to do another quick video dealing specifically with what I call the preparation for the hour to be played. And if we look at the sequence of play, this is rule number 9. So looking at number 1, we have the weather determination. Okay, so one of the players rolls a 1d6 and consults the weather table. Okay, so this is the weather table, and it's also the turn track. And the little figure here, figurehead, that's blowing, that's a representation of Greek / Roman mythology. Okay, having to do with the gods of the Greeks and the Romans. And Napoleon was really fascinated with the Roman Empire. And just like the Romans used eagle standards, he also used the eagle. Much like a lot of countries, even say the United States has eagle as a standard. So what you do is you take a 6-sided dice and you roll it and consult the table here. And so I rolled a 1, which is found right here, which is clear. Okay, so that means we're not going to have a line of sight restriction, nor are we going to have that -1 modifier that we had last turn because of the snow. And I'm taking down my little image that I printed off showing snow. So I do that just as a reminder for myself. It's not part of the game. Okay, so we've got that out of the way. So we know that the leaders, army leaders, are going to get their full command points. And Napoleon gets 6 and Bennigsen gets 4. So the next step in the sequence of play is the order phase. So we go back to here and we look here at number 2. It's the order phase. Each player may change the order for divisions in range of the army leader, okay, by spending command points or by a successful initiative roll or test of a divisional leader or corps leader for the French. Okay. Now, before we do the order phase, we are allowed to move our army commanders, okay, our army leader, and also the corps leaders for the French. Okay, so the Russians can only move Bennigsen, while the French can move Napoleon and any of their core leaders like Davout, Ugaru, so forth. So let's I have these purple cubes that I use, and so there's where Napoleon's at, and then Bennigsen is right here, and then for the French, I'll go ahead and put a cube just for now on the core commanders. So so there's Soap right there, and then Ugaru, which I was pronouncing Ruggiero, but it's okay from videos and so forth that I've watched. I've been hearing Ugaru. Okay, and let's see here. We have, of course, Davout right there. Okay, so those are the ones that the French can also move, and that helps them when they're wanting to change leaders that are divisional leaders that are outside the range of Napoleon. Okay, so the way the command works with giving orders is that if a divisional leader is within 12 hexes, then it only costs 1 command point. If they are between 13 and 18 hexes away, then it costs 2 command points. If they are beyond 18, then that's where they're going to have to roll for an initiative. And that's where it's important to have the core commanders also there, but they've got to be stacked with that leader. Okay, so a core leader is not able to just change all of his core using just his initiative. Okay, but you can always roll to change an order just using the divisional leader's initiative. So we're going to have some examples of that, and that's why I'm doing this again, because I think in the third video I probably didn't have a lot of order changes at that time, but here we do, because I talked about in the last video where the Russians are spending way too many army fatigue points for orders that they're not even really using. So they need to specify, really condense their orders. Okay, so over here I've got Lestock has come onto the board. He needs to change his order. He's in strategic order right now, strategic move, and he wants to change to attack. So I'm going to place one of these here to let me know that's where I want to change. I'm going to start with the Russians. Okay, and so what I want to do is I want to go through here and find out who I want to change, and then see, okay, where do I need to move Bennigsen to be able to do that more effectively? Because with Napoleon and Bennigsen, if the division commander's within range, all it does is cost a command point. You don't have to roll, so there's no chance there. It's just automatically changed as long as you have enough command points. Okay, so if we're looking at everyone, go by, just look through here. Markov is back here. He's got hold orders, so I just want to leave him where he's at. Golinson, that has the reserve cavalry, I was wanting to change him to move, and I don't. Well, yeah, he does have move, but I guess I didn't use any I didn't use any, he didn't get, I didn't activate him. So, okay, so let's take a look back here and see what the Russians want to do. They really want to push hard on Napoleon's left over here. Okay, and so this is where I think they want to attack, especially with Lestock coming in. So they want to maintain attacks over here. Now, with it being clear, and if we take a look here, looking ahead for activation cubes, here the French, when we're adding up how many they could possibly get, French get 6, now the Russians get 6. Now this is the first time that they are getting the same number of activation cubes here from this modifying off of the turn and weather track as the French. It's even 6 and 6. Now, of course, when we take a look at Napoleon, you would also add his command right here. Oh, for some reason, I always forget what specifically that's called. It's not command points. I think it's leadership. Is what the leadership rating. So you take the leadership rating and you add that to that number that's on the weather track. So the French, they get 6 plus his leadership rating of 4, and then we roll a die. Okay, so the French could get up to 16 if they rolled a 6. Okay, and then Bennigsen here, he only has a leadership rating of 2. So that was 2 plus 6 is 8. So the most that he could possibly get is 14. Now, he could also just get 9. So if we consider, okay, that we might just get 9, then then we need to think about what's going to happen. So we're looking ahead to say, okay, we might get 9, say we only get 9 activations. If we have, right now, the Russians have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attack orders. So that means there's 6 divisions with attack orders. Okay, so if each one of those attack just once, then that's going to be 6. That would only leave us 3 left for other things like moving units. Like Gollingston here needs to move. That's going to be an activation. So we need to narrow down to possibly only 3 attacks or 3 divisions attacking. So we know Lestock, we want to have Lestock attacking, and that's if he can pass his initiative rating, or we move Bennigsen closer, which I think Bennigsen's too far away. He's purple over there, right here. He can only move 12. I don't think he could get close enough. But Lestock has an 8. Okay, that's his initiative. So he's got a pretty good chance of passing. So if we wanted to, say, attack over here on this flank with the Russians, then we need to change the orders of all of these other units over here that are attacking. So right now, say we've got 2nd Division, 4th Division, Corps Cavalry, right-wing cavalry, and Lestock. Now that would be 4. Okay. And we may stick with those 4 as attack. So 3 of them already have attack orders. All it is now adding Lestock. Now what we have to do is now we have to go back over to the this other side over here and look to see where we can change some things. Okay. Now I do have Essen there, who was caught kind of by Klein's cavalry and had to form squares. And so their movement was kind of interrupted. That's 8th Division. Where's the 8th? Yeah, they had a move order. So I probably want to change them to defend or hold. If I change them to hold, they still get some kind of modifier, and it's not costing me anything, army fatigue wise. So let's put a hold order here, so we know, okay, that's one I want to change. And then we take a look at say Sacken. I know Sacken and probably Doctoroff right here with the 7th Division. Let's see what he's got. He has a move, so I want to change him. I think I'm going to change him to hold. And with hold, you also are able to regain some of your strength that you've lost. So I don't think either one of those 2 divisions have lost any strength yet. But some of these others have. For example, Sacken. Sacken has lost some strength. So Sacken has an attack order. And we want to change that. So if we change it to hold, then he can regain some of his strength, while at the same time still being in a posture of defense. So, and they can still perform fire combat. Just because they're in hold doesn't limit that. Units that are in defend that are outside the 4 hex command radius of their commander may move more than 1 hex, but have to end movement once within range. So that's something that I was not aware of. I missed that. So I need to, if I activate Legrand here, this is a perfect example here. Legrand's got all of these units that were forced to retreat over here. Okay, so if I activate Legrand, these units can move so that they are back within 4 hexes. Okay, this unit is, but these units here are not. But he would still be able to move 1 hex closer. Same thing. You can always, in defense, you can if you have defend order, you can move 1 hex. So these units here, though, could move closer. They could move back closer to get within command range. So I'll have to remember that. All right, so we got Sacken that we want to change. Doctoroff we want to change. And then if we look over here, let's see if I can create some light over here. Okay, there we go. I've got Kaminsky there. And I think I'm going to give him, I want to change him to defense. So I think this turn, I want to change him to defense. And this is Kaminsky here. This would still allow him to get, if he can activate first, then I could get a unit into this village here to stop the French from getting in here and gaining these 10 fatigue points, taking them away from the Russians. So we want to stop that. So I think I want to change him. He's got an attack orders, and I think I need to change those. So we want to change him to defense. Van Paulen has move orders. So yeah, I could continue to possibly move him back some more. So I might leave him where he's at, the orders he has. And Vagabot, he has attack orders, and I need to give him hold orders. He needs to try to regain some strength points. So I'm going to give him hold orders. He'll just be kind of stuck in place, but that way he could possibly regain some see if I can find the hold. There's one. All right, so I want to change him to hold, and I think that takes care of everyone. And so now I have to decide, okay, where do I need to put Bennington so that he can change 4 of those without me having to roll? Okay. And so if we look here, okay, so these are going to be placed on commanders, the division commanders, generals, I guess, that I want to change. Okay, so if we look there, and also have Tolstoy down here. I think he's in trouble of getting annihilated. He has attack orders. I think I need to give him defend orders. So he would be one that I need to give him defend orders. That way he get that bonus of defense. All right, so if we look here, and I also have to go ahead and mark Lestock over here because he was another one. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here, and I could only change 4 because that's what Bennington's command points. He's only got 4 command points. So if I look at initiative on these guys, Bagrat has an 8. So I'm going to replace him with this other color here. I guess I could give it a black. That stands out. Okay, so he's going to roll on his own. Okay, I'll roll his initiative. So where Bennington's at, if we were to count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we can change that one without moving Bennington. We can change this one without moving him. Okay, if we go to here, that's easily within 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. So down here, Tolstoy has an 8. So I'm going to let him roll on his own, even though it's pretty vital that he goes to defense, a defense order. And then, of course, Lestock will have to roll on his own. All right, so I'm not going to move. Bennington's not going to move. He's going to stay where he's at. And he's in a pretty good central position to command his army. So he's got 4 command points. The 4 orange cubes are divisional leaders within 12 hexes, 12 hexes or less. So he can change all 4 of those. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because what happens with the French is not going to interfere with the orders. So here, Kaminsky is going to go to defense. So we change him from attack to defense, or defend, in other words. Okay, so we can take this cube off. So that's 1. Okay, then here, Essen, who's part of 8th Division, they were moving, but now they're going to hold. Okay. And then we go to Sacken. He's going to go to hold. And he is, what is he, 3rd Division? So 3rd Division is going to go to hold. This is going to help them in retaining some of their fatigue. So we can remove that. All right, Doktorov goes to hold, and he had a move order. 7. Where's he at? Okay. All right. Now, I have to roll for these others. So, we'll start up here with Baccarat. And as you can see, he has an 8. So, have to roll 8 or less. And if you notice, I rolled a 4 and a 6. That's a 10. So he's not able to change his order. So that was a failure. Okay. And then we come down here to Tolstoy. He's also got an 8. And I rolled a 1 and a 2. So that's 3. So he can change the defense. And he is, let's see, 2nd Division. He was an attack, and he goes to defense. Okay. All right, so we can remove that one. Okay. And then the other one is with Doc. He is going from, he wants to go from attack, strategic move to attack. And I rolled an 8. So he passes. 8 or less, he passes. So he will now have an attack order. Okay. Now we will look at the orders over here on the chart after I do the French. Okay. So the Russians were successful in changing some of their orders, a majority of their orders. They had one failure, which was Bagrat. I say Bagrat, sometimes I say Bagrat, bot, Volt, Bagavoot, maybe. That's how it should be pronounced, maybe. So now we take a look at the French. Now, with the French, on the right, of course, they have Davout. Okay. So, if I wanted to change one of his division to say something other than attack, then I would want to move Davout to that commander, okay, that divisional general. So he's kind of in a central position where he could reach either one rather quickly. And maybe that second division maybe I could change them. I think I'm going to change them to move instead of attack. So Friant's division here, we want to save some fatigue. If we put move, then I can still move this artillery piece up and unlimber it so that it can fire. When you have a move order, you can still fire during the fire, simultaneous fire segment. So and I can still move these squares up forward, just can't move them adjacent. Of course, they can only move one hex at a time, but I could take them out of square, move them up, and then put them back in square. Same thing with these units here. So I think I'm going to put, by going to move, instead of 2 fatigue points, it would only be 1. Now I could also just do a hold or defend, but I'm not able to move that artillery piece up where it could do anything. I want to move that artillery piece up. So I'm going to try to do a change order, change that order to move. And I'm not going to move Davout because I want to be sure I can get that change. So I'm going to be able to roll twice. Once for Davout and then once, if need be, using Friant. Okay, that's one of the important uses of a corps commander, is being able to roll an additional additional time, okay, for passage of order change. Okay, so the other 2 I'm going to leave as attacking. Okay. Then if we move here more toward the center, where we've got some different units here, we do have Saint Hilaire, who still needs to recover Um, but I don't think I could put him in regroup yet. He's going to have to stay. Let's see what he has. Saint Hilaire, First Division. Yeah, he has a hold, so we're going to keep that as a hold. And then let's see here, Milhaud's Cavalry. That's what, the 3rd Division. They've taken some hits. Thing is, I've got to get them out of there somehow. That's not his, but this one is. That's 2 hits there. We got 2 hits there. Of course, this one here has lost 5. 2 hits here. So I think I have to keep them. In attack order because they're going to have to move adjacent to enemy units. So they're going to have to stay like they are because I just can't leave them where they're at. I mean, I could, but they're kind of trapped in there. Klein. Now Klein, I could move him back, but he really needs to try to, we need to do something about these guys here. That very large Hussars regiment. So we don't want to change Grouchy yet. And I think I still have, because these units here, I still have to keep Houdelet as hold. I still want these guys in regroup. Okay. Adair Hot Pool. I don't want to change him. I don't want Legrand. I don't think I want him in attack order yet. I do have attack orders with But Joseph, I think I'm gonna put him in defend. That'll give him a positive modifier. If Korf decides to make any charges, because we're in a defense stance, we won't necessarily have to. We won't have to countercharge, although we still could. So yeah, I think I'm going to change. So we want to change Joseph to defend. Bessieres, we want to leave him like he is. He has attack. I think he has attack. Let's see, Bessieres, yeah, attack. Okay. So yeah, that would change that to defend or even hold. That would actually save 2. Yeah. Let's change him to hold. He still gets that plus 1. It'd be a +1 modifier? So I think that's all we're going to have. I don't think anyone else really. I don't think anyone else really. I need to. Besides the fact that I really want to change Milhad to hold or defend, really hold, but by doing that, of course, I won't be able to move anybody up there. Of course, they could still countercharge and evade. And we could also gain some strength back. So Milhad is going to change. He's going to change to hold. So this is another one. I think. Let's see. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So Napoleon has 6 possible command points to use, and the first one that we're looking at is, of course, is Joseph. Yusuf. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that would cost 2, which is okay. Napoleon has 6. I'm not really wanting to move Napoleon. So all right, so this one we can change, and we don't need to change. Really, I'm not wanting to move any of the core commanders, even though I could move, and I might, I think I'll move Augier, Uguru, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's going to move up here with Adlai, Uguru. So that just shows you a movement of, okay, because before you change any orders, that's what you would do. You would move them. That way, if you needed to roll initiative, you'd have that additional. You don't have to, but that if I wanted to change, say, the orders here, Of course, I showed you that over there, and we're gonna actually see that happen. But I move Ugaru over here, and now I've got 2 chances to pass the changing of that order. Ugaru has got a 6, so he's probably one of the lowest ranked Napoleon commanders. He is in this game. Okay, so we changed Joseph's Husef. We changed his order from attack to hold, and it costs 2 of Napoleon's command points because it's 13 to 18 hexes away. So they go to hold. That's going to save 2 army fatigue points, and we'll see that here shortly. Okay, so then we move over to Milad, and here's Napoleon. So we count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So again, it's going to cost 2, but Napoleon has 6. He's used 2 on Husef, but now he's going to use 2 more on Milad. So that's a total of 4. So Napoleon still has 2 command points left if he was going to use them, which he's not going to use them, at least for this hour. So we can move this and change his division now to hold, which is the 3rd Dragoons. They go from attack to hold, which is saving army fatigue. Plus, it's giving his division an opportunity to regain some strength points, to rally some units. All right, and then the last thing we have, at least for order-wise, is attempting to change Friant's attack orders to move. Okay, so Friant has a 9, Devout has a 10. That's the white number inside the red box is the initiative rating. So, and I could roll either one first, second, whatever. Okay, we'll just do Davout's. He's got a better chance. And of course, I rolled a 5, so he passed pretty easily. Davout is one of the highest. Let's see what Ney is over here still on the OOB. Ney has a 9. Lassalle has a 9. So Davout, who was an excellent marshal, excellent tactician, corps commander, and he illustrates that in many battles where he is isolated from Napoleon and other corps. And of course, he did that very significantly at the Battle of Auerstadt, okay, which was part of the Jena campaign against the Prussians, where he basically held off the entire Prussian army with just his 1 corps. He didn't get help from was it Bernadotte? Can't recall now, but it was I'd have to look that up, but I remember it was that marshal was known for, you know, being slow to act or move and react. You know, you hear the sound of the guns, you march to the sound of the guns, and that was his instruction, was support to support Davout, but of course he didn't. So, and I actually have a video where I did a playthrough of Viva la Emperor's Is that right? Was it Viva la Emperor? Yeah, Viva la Emperor. It's part of the. Let's see, part of their. Let's see, where's that? Yeah, the Troyes Batailles and Alamanay. Yeah. 3 battles in. Is that 3 battles in Germany? No. What is that? What is that in English? I don't think this box. Legion War Games, of course, Crafts and Editions, which is another of my Napoleonic tactical and Napoleonic systems I really enjoy. The Viva la Emperor. Which of course is different from this system. So, and that's what's really nice is being able to play, different systems and compare those systems, especially if you have the same battle in each of the systems that you're able to go through. Of course, I've played the La Bataille Arstotzka. That was the battle that was the game that actually was the Marshall edition, Marshalls, before Clash of Arms acquired the rights to the system. That was the game that got me started in Napoleonics, and I got that in the 1990s, I believe. Yeah, had to be the early 1990s, and I wish I still had that. There's a point where I had to do a lot of moving, and I was coaching and didn't really have time for gaming, and I sold all of my war games, and I've slowly been able to pick up some that I had years ago here and there, and that is one that I dearly miss. Even though I really struggled with the rules in that system. One thing is there's no command rules, really, and I want some order on the battlefield. Even though you're going to have chaos, I want order through being restricted in the movement and what your units can do to make it more historic. And so, plus it's so technical that it just takes so long to play. Okay, let's stop talking about that and get back to talking about this. All right, so I was able to change Friant's order to move. So 2nd Division 3rd Corps is now not going to attack, but in move, to have a move order. All right, so I really didn't need to move the army commanders. I chose not to because they were in pretty good position to change orders where they were at, and I didn't need to really move any of the corps commanders, even though I did move Ugaru just to show you that movement. And of course Soult, I didn't need to move him or change let's see, well, I could still change Soult, not Soult, but the 2nd Division, Lavelle. I could put them in a hold position instead of defend, but I think what's going on with them, I But I could do a hold with Legrand. He could change from defend to hold, and that way I could rally some of these units that got pushed way back here. You know, we've got this one here been hard hit, but I think I need to move them closer first, so I keep them in a defense order. Yeah, I'm going to keep them in defense. So, okay. All right, so now what you do is you need to determine the army fatigue cost and the initiative. Who gains the initiative? That's the next part of the sequence of play. Let's see. Yeah, the newer rules kind of give, they explain, let me go to them, because they explain the sequence of play a little bit, they clear up some things. So with the order phase, it tells you that you can move your army leader and the Frenchman move his corps leaders. Okay, see, the original rules didn't do that, at least not here. I think they did it, excuse me, they did it in another location. Each player may change the order, okay, based on, you know, so forth and so on. We did that. Each player pays army fatigue cubes from his stock for issued orders, okay. And then we determine the activation cubes, and then we determine the initiative. So the next step, since we've already changed the orders and so forth, is paying army fatigue cubes. So let's do that. We have to count it up. So, okay, let's put some light down here, and let's see here. I'm gonna slide right in here where we can see if I can turn it where we, well, we can't see everybody. So I'll just have to turn it. Okay, for the Russians, okay, so what we're doing for the fatigue, we're looking at this, the right number on the right hand side, okay, that's not the red number, it's I think it's a black or blue number, okay, so 0, 0, then we have -1, -2 is 3, okay, then we go to here, -1, so now we're at 4, now 5, 7, 8, okay, and then we come over here, we've got 2, that becomes 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so that's less than we had the last turn. I think it was like 18 last turn. So they've saved about 5 army fatigue points just by eliminating some of the attacks. So okay, now what we want to do is we want to move over here and get in a position where we can take those fatigue points off. So we need 13, so that's 10, and then we just take 3 of these. There's the 13, and they're just put in the supply box or supply area. Okay. Next, let's see here. There we go. Let's move some of this stuff. Okay, let's take a look at the French. see how much they're gonna have to pay. All right, so again, it's the right number here. Minus 2 is 4. Minus 2 more is 6. We have a defense here, okay, which is minus 1. So now we're at 7. Minus 1 is 8. And that's a plus 1. So now we're back to 7. So if you get a regroup, you're getting to add fatigue. So we're at 7. We got 2 here. That's 9. Minus 1 is 10. Minus 2 more is 12. So the French were able to save a few also. I think they had like 15 or something like that last time. So I think I said 12. Yeah, 12. So we take 1 black and then we take 2 gray. All right. Now, the next step is to actually determine the activation cubes that each side will get. So we come back over here to our turn and weather track. Okay. And so if we look, okay, on hour number 2, which is the 1400 hour, using military time, 6 French, 6 Russian. So then we take the leadership rating of both army commanders. So they both get 6. Okay. We find Napoleon here. I've got him marked here. Okay. His leadership rating is the white number in the purple circle. So that's 4. So we add 4 to 6, so that's 10. They get at least 10. Okay. Up here for Bennigsen, his leadership rating is 2. So they get 2 plus 6 is 8. So right now they have 8. Now what we do is we're going to roll a 6-sided dice, 1 6-sided dice for each. All right, so the French, the blue die, they had 10 plus 3 is 13. And the Russians, 6 plus 2 was 8, plus 4 is 12. So 13 and 12. So we're going to have fairly even. They're even in the activation cubes. So I take my activation bag or cup here. So we have two red, and then we add 13 blue. Okay, that's 3. That's 6. That's 9. That's 12. And then we put 1 for 13. The Russians, 3, and Prussians, 6, 9, 12. All right. Now, the last step before we start activating units will be initiative. So we go back over here to the orders to determine who has the initiative. Now you're going to be using the red number on the bottom left of each order. So we've got 0, 0, 0, plus 4 for attack. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 0, plus 2 to move, that's 6. Plus 4 more, that's 10. Plus 2 is 12. We got 4 more, that's 16. And plus 4 more is 20. Okay, that's the Russians. Okay, now the French. So we've got plus 4. Plus 4 is 8. We go across. 4 more is 12. Okay. Here's 4 more. So we're at 16, plus 2 more is 18, plus 4 is 22. So the French have 22, the Russians 20. So the French will get the first activation. So we go into the cup here, and we pull this one out. And then that means there's 12 blue, 12 green, and 2 red. And the French have the first activation. And so the next video will pick up right there with that French activation. I wanted to give another detailed explanation of how you go about setting up for your next hour turn. And so that's how it's done. I've already flipped over the cavalry units that were involved in charges or forced to retreat. All of them that were tired. You flip them all back over at the start of or at the end of each turn, each hour. They get flipped back. So that's taken. I removed the smoke markers. We've done the weather, which is clear, and we've moved our army commanders. We've moved any corps leaders. We've made any order changes. We paid army fatigue points for those orders. We've determined the activation cubes, the number for each army, and now we've determined who has the initiative. And this will also give the French the first fire in simultaneous fire combat, which really doesn't provide any benefit whoever's first, because the results actually happen after all the firing is complete. That's how you would actually do it. So if a unit is hit, it doesn't affect their strength for when they fire, if they can fire, if they have the opportunity to fire when they fire. So, okay, so that's how it's done. If you have any questions, you can throw comments down. But if you have 2 people, it's going to go a lot faster and smoother than just with me, But I wanted to give the viewers another opportunity to see how this is done, because I knew I would be doing some initiative rolling this time that I don't think I did too much in the previous or in the earlier video. I think it was video 3, where I spent just the whole video discussing preparing. I call it the preparation. It's not called that in the game or in the rules, but it's taking care of the first, let's see, 4 segments or phases. They're called phases. So the first 4 phases is basically you preparing for that turns or hours combat and activations. So okay, so that's all I wanted to show. Don't forget to go check out Sound of Drums and take a good hard look at Eylau 1807. Some people may call it Eylau. SoundofDrumsGames.com is where you go take a look, and there's all the links for their other platforms. And also we want you to go take a look at Chessex, Chessex.com, where they've got more than just dice. They've got game table accessories, different things that you may find useful, or you just want to have. So I actually picked up, not from them, I need to also take a look. I've already said